Hello, everyone. Today's class is going to be a restorative class. I think I may have done one more restorative, but I'm going to start trying to do a restorative at least once a month. I'm trying to vary my classes. Next week will be a yoga with weights again, so you can pick and choose which ones are the best for you. This is a very relaxed, and its name restorative means that it helps your body to restore from all of the things that we do. I have the lighting subdued a little bit. Actually, I think I might like this lighting better even for the other classes because then my light doesn't get right in my eyes when I lay down. Our first pose, well, let me back up for a second. The name of this class is Expectancy, like we did last week, but last week was a more active class. I'm just using the same word because I had to teach this back to back with another class. So, expectancy, and I kind of like reading the my little affirmation word before the class, especially during restorative, because then while you're in your positions, and we'll stay in each position 10 to 12 minutes. And the class may last for an hour to 15 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible, but there is a lot of setup, especially in this one that I chose. So there's a lot of setup time. Well, not a whole lot, but say 3 to 5 minutes between each pose that we do. So we have to allow for that amount of time. But as we're doing our poses, I want you to think about expectancy and what that actually means, and bringing it all into your meditation here, your relaxation, your affirmation, whatever you choose to call it. Many people call it many different things, but it gives you a focal point instead of thinking about, oh, I forgot to pick that up from the store. I'm going to have to go back and do that. I want you, whenever your mind wanders, come back to this word here and think about what it means in your life. Your attitude toward the present builds your experience of the future. Hold a positive outlook and stay miracle-minded and open to surprises. And how you can apply that to your yoga today during restorative poses is that when you're in your pose, think about your attitude of what the pose is and what it is supposed to do. And I will tell you the benefits of each pose as I get you settled into the pose. The first one is reclined Baddha Konasana, which is reclined bound ankle pose. Mm-hmm. You will need your 2 blocks. I listed on the website what all we needed to bring to the mat. I'll go ahead and say everything. 2 to 4 blocks, or 2 blocks and 2 towels. 2 blankets or more, a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you could use a couch cushion, and maybe your couch pillows or your bedroom pillows or something along that line. All of that will work. You can make anything work just about. A strap. If you don't have a strap, I'll show you another alternative for keeping your legs not going down so far, which you can use little pillows. I'll just bring these down for little pillows. And 2 chairs. You will need your 2 chairs. And I would like for you to bring an eye mask or just a wash rag or something to put over your eyes to kind of just calm your mind down. And if you want to play some relaxing music, every time I play music, it comes up and says that I don't have permission to play the music, and I do not really have the funds to just pay for music to play on a show that I do for an hour. And I kind of like the quiet. It's kind of nice now that I've got used to it. I always used to want music, but if you want music, choose your own music. I will listen to the ticking of my clocks and the snoring of my dog. If you hear snoring during the class, it's most likely the dog. If I wake up startled, then it's me. But he snores pretty loud, and he usually likes to come over and lay on the mat when I'm doing yoga if he wakes up and sees that I'm on the mat. But he's behind the chair snoring right now. So let's go ahead. Your 2 blocks. You're going to set 1 block up high on the highest point, and the other block I have on the lowest point kind of tilted because that worked with my bolster. This is my bolster, and again, you could use the couch cushion or any other firmer pillow or a couple of pillows together and get your blocks set. So go ahead and try to get that set. I have a blanket up here. You could easily use a bath towel. And when I get in the position, I will roll this so that I have a nice roll for my neck. That makes it a lot more comfortable for the neck, because the point of restorative yoga is to be in a very comfortable position, but it will last for 10 to 12 minutes. So you definitely don't want to be in a position that you're like, oh, I don't know if I could even stay here for a minute. Because some positions, when I do my other classes, we'll try to hold for anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. And some we're trying to build up to a minute, like the plank. So you don't want to be stuck in a position where you're feeling very uncomfortable. Let me get my other yellow pillow to show you if you don't have a strap. And then down here at the bottom, I have 2 blankets because my bolster's kind of thick. My couch cushion might actually be a little better for this position. So to get into the position, once you get set up, and if you want, I have a blanket to cover up with because I get chilled during restorative positions. But you're going to come back and sit on your towels or your blanket, or maybe even the floor. I'm a smaller person, so I need to be raised up, and I may adjust these blankets a little bit. There we go. And the strap will go around your knees, so you need to get that situated. When I do these classes in person, I come around and I put everyone in the position and give them all of their props or whatever they need. Now I'm going to, then you're going to lay back onto your bolster, your cushion, or whatever. It should feel very comfortable. I'm going to loosen my strap just a little bit because I want to have the groin opened, because this is a great groin opener. It calms the mind, and I'll read more benefits in a minute. So you want to get that adjusted so you have a little bit of a stretch, but not too much. I'm pretty flexible. I'll go a little bit more. That's too much. Okay. If you do not have a strap, this is where your pillows come in. You can just put your pillows underneath your knees. I would need thicker ones, so you might want to have thicker ones, or a couple, or your blocks like this for your knee, holding your knees up. Otherwise, if you don't, they're going to go out wide, and that may be too much of a stretch for a beginner or a person that's very tight, even if you're not a beginner. And then you just lay back, put your eye mask on, and you got your music, maybe your aromatherapy going. I've got some lavender going right now. And just relax. Hopefully you're in your position. I will ring the bell when it's time to come out to just give you an alert, but do not move until I tell you how to move out of the position. So stay there, but that just letting you know that we're going to be coming up out of the pose. So for the benefits of reclining Baddha Konasana, and also this is a heart opener one because we are reclined and our arms are coming back. So it's opening our chest and our arms. And I did just do this class at a studio, and it opened a lady's chest up really well. She'd been having a lot of congestion, so she told me she was really thankful that she had come to the class that night because she felt how well it opened her chest. And another lady during this class also told me she'd had a headache all day, and doing this class helped it to go away, which it is a very good mind calmer. It also These poses are also really good for menstrual cramps. So if you have that, it's a good groin opener, which I already mentioned, and it helps to reduce anxiety and stress and depression. It's good for your abdominal and reproductive organs. It helps to stimulate them while you're in this position, and improves digestion and increases blood circulation. So just think about all that. And then all of the poses that I'm doing today also helps to reduce high blood pressure. So go ahead and get into your rhythm of breathing, ever how you want to relax. Get your eye mask going, and I'm going to get back into my pose, and I will see you in 10 minutes. I'll set my clock. If you find yourself tightening your jaws, please relax those. I just noticed I was doing that, so I like to remind everyone. And I'm beginning to feel my body relaxing more into the pose, so I'm getting a little deeper opening of my heart and my groin. Kind of observe those things. What are you expecting out of this pose to happen? Those like 3 things that you should be expecting. you to start first by just taking your eye mask off and fluttering your eyes open. And then take your hands and I already removed my strap so I could get up and do the dong. And push your feet together. This helps to give your back more support as you're lifting your hands up. In restorative, or your legs up, in restorative pose, you don't want to make any real sudden like jump up out of the pose. And then you can take your hands and push yourself up. So that is the proper way to come out of restorative Baddha Konasana. Our next pose is going to be a supported bridge pose. So I'm going to start by taking my incline support down, removing the blocks. And supported bridge pose, depending on your body dynamics. I'm a rather short, smaller person, so this bolster may be too big for me, but if you're a larger woman or a man, well, to give you an instance, I'm 5'3", so I'm not very tall. This would be too much for me, so I'm not going to use my bolster. But if you are 5'6", 5'7", or above, this is probably perfect. For supported bridge pose, we will come into it. I'm going to show you by laying on the bolster. You can lay this way, but this does not fit my body because I'm too short. Or if you're short like me, you can turn it this way. You're going to have a blanket or towels or a pillow underneath. Well, you won't need it because you're going to be laying on this bolster, but you do need for your head. I'm going to bring, I have 2 blankets, so that brings my head up a little higher because this is a very tall bolster. And if you can get a little roll for your neck, that makes it even more comfortable. But like I said, I'm not going to use the bolster because it's a little too high. So I'm going to use one of my couch pillows and a blanket. It probably looks as high, but it will sink down more than the bolster is pretty sturdy. Then, of course, we're going to use our strap again to hold our legs up so that we don't have to use, have to think about holding our legs up. They can just relax into the bridge pose. But it needs to be a lot smaller because the knees need to be no further than hip width apart. And to find a good place for your hips to be is to try to have the edge of whatever you're laying on for your bridge support to be at the edge of your tailbone. And you can also use a block, which I really like the block. So I'm going to use the block, but I wanted to show you 3 different ways of setting up. So I'm going to put a block here and a blanket just because it makes it a little bit more cushy. And I will have the block edge at the edge of where my tailbone is. And then I have my blankets up here, which when I'm on the block, I just need one blanket. So you find your best pose and get into it. Have your eye mask and a blanket to cover up with if it's cool and you're home. It's a cold day out, so it's kind of cold. Did everybody get into rhythm with breathing with the dog? I did. I was like, oh, I'm in rhythm with him now, breathing, and over here snoring. So get set up. And I could hear my dryer going. I forgot I had that turned on, so I'm going to turn that off because it might ding. I think my washer was dinging too. So for supported bridge pose, I hope you're all comfy, got your eye mask on, covered up. Everything is situated. If you do not have a strap, I should have mentioned that, you can take your legs, maybe you have to settle me up. And put them out wider than your hips and let the knees fall in. So that way you're not having to consciously hold them up. Okay. So the benefits of supported bridge pose is it helps to strengthen the back. It's good for digestion. It's excellent for digestion. If you have digestive issues or just want to keep that nice and healthy. And it, of course, stretches the chest because you will have your hands laid out. And since your chest is raised up a little bit, it opens it. If you cough or notice that maybe you can breathe a little deeper, that's because we're doing these chest openers. And then, of course, your heart is, your head is below your heart. And with your neck flex, which helps to have the roll underneath it, it puts your body into a very nice restorative rest pose, which is also called baroflex. And that suppresses your sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, into going into what they called relax and restore. So it lets your autonomic nervous system really just relax down so that you're not trying to figure out what should I do next. So it's a very calming pose. So just keep that in mind. It will be very calming. If you fall asleep, that's okay. It stimulates your lungs and your thyroid and your abdominal organs. So, and of course, improves your blood circulation and strengthens your back. While you're getting relaxed into your pose, I want you to think about, and I may talk kind of in the middle, just to remind you to relax your jaw muscle and to feel how is your body getting deeper into that pose and really relaxing. On this one, you may feel where like the lower abdominal is moving up towards your ribs, and maybe the lower abs feel like they're tightening a little bit just because you're using different muscles. So go ahead and get in a nice calm state with your eye mask on, your blanket if you need it. And I may not give any instructions since I already talked about the loosening the jaw and everything. I just want you to relax, not worry about anything here. going to end our second restorative pose. And you can start by taking your eye mask off, which I've already done, so I can get up and ring the bell. And then after you take your eye mask off, you can bring your knees forward to remove your strap, which I've done that too. And then lay the feet back down on the mat. Push up with your hips into a bridge pose and scoot your bolster, block, blanket, whatever you were using for your bridge support, and then roll over onto whichever side you want. Use your top arm to push yourself up nice and slow. Our next two poses will engage using the chairs. And our third pose, I'll have to take my cloth down, is going to be a restorative child's pose. And to set that up, you can use your blocks, or I have this gadget here, which I'm going to use because it works really nice. And this is for doing sit-ups to support your back. So, or you can use pillows. I'll show you several ways. Where's my, with your bolster or your couch cushion, and it's going to sit at an angle. You just want something underneath your couch cushion or the bolster to give it support. I'll bring a couch cushion over and show you what that looks like. I might just use my couch cushion actually. Couch cushions are usually pretty firm, but you can have your blocks under here and a short or a medium and a tall, just to give that cushion some support so it doesn't cave in. I'm going to try the couch cushion just because I sometimes like to try things that I'm telling you that you can use, just to show you that you don't really need special equipment. And then I'm just going to place my blanket or a towel up here for my head. I'm going to flip this over there. And then I want you to get your blocks handy in case if you're really short and your feet do not touch the ground while you're in the chair. These are good chairs because my feet can actually touch the ground. But you could take a block and lift your feet up so that they're more comfortable. And not trying to hold your feet up with your tiptoes because I want you completely relaxed. Then, since I'm not there to put a nice comfy blanket or bolster behind you, I want you to take your blanket and wrap it around your back because I want some firmness on your back. And it's kind of hard to put a bolster behind your back by yourself. So then just sit in your chair. I'm going to get my timer. I've got all this equipment. I've got to, you guys get to totally relax. I have to think about what time is it and is it time to move on. So you will be here, and then for your restorative child's pose, you're going to take your right hand or your left hand, whichever you prefer, and just lean over into this pose with your forehead on your hands. And the reason why your forehead is on your hands is because that brings a very calming aspect to the brain. Anytime that you lay your forehead onto your hands, it calms the brain. That's a great way to calm down, de-stress quickly. If you want your children to have a break and you tell them, okay, sit at the table and lay your forehead on your hands, you'll be surprised at how quickly they can get calmed down. So hopefully you are in your pose. I am going to tell you more of the benefits of supported child's pose, and then we'll meet back here in 10 minutes. I'll restart this. So the benefits provides a gentle stretch for your lower back muscles, which is a good thing to follow the bridge because we used a little bit of the back muscle strengthening on that. Well, this is more of just a stretch. And then it can also be used to help relieve menstrual cramps. So if you are a woman and you're having that issue, this is a great pose for you to do anytime. And it evenly stretches the posterior and spinal structures. And I've already said it's extremely relaxing for the mind. And I will not talk. Remember to relax your jaw. If you feel your jaw tightening up, then please let your teeth fall slightly apart so the jaw can really loosen. And if you need to move your hands, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try rolling my blanket and just letting my hands be on the side. This is even nice. I think I'll try it this way today. No, I like the hands better. Relax your jaw and think about how you're feeling halfway through the class. You should be starting to have a sense of great relaxation. That is the ending of our third restorative pose. And to come out of this one, that's fairly easy. You see, my dog joined me. Is you just remove your blanket that you had wrapped around your back off. Of course, lift up. And then you can take the things that you have in front of you off. And then it is much easier to swing your legs around and swivel in your chair to come up and off of the chair. And our last and final pose for our expectancy restorative pose is going to be half legs up the wall. I don't know why they call it that because it's really half legs up the chair. And to get set up for that, we need one chair. I hope that you're sitting up now and watching. So we're going to have our one chair in front of us. And hopefully this chair's not too high for me. I didn't check it out. Usually I used my other chair. Now this is pretty good. I may have to lift my back up with a couple of blankets, but that's okay. I have a very cushy chair here. If you brought metal chairs, which is normally found in the yoga studios, just take a blanket and pat it. I'm not going to do that because it's almost a little bit too high for me. And if yours is too, you can take a couple of blankets down here to lay on. And then we have a blanket that we're going to use to do our roll for our neck. I'm going to be able to see with that bolster in the way there. So I have the roll for my neck, my two blankets, which I may or may not want two blankets, I'll see. There's my dog. He got underneath the chair there because he loves this blanket that I'm covering up with. So for restorative half legs up the wall, you come and you sit as close to the chair as possible and a little bit to the edge because you're going to lay back and swing your legs up onto the seat of the chair. This is pretty good. And then I have my neck rolled here. I'm going to remove one of my blankets because it's got me a little bit too high. So once you figure out what all you need or don't need for this pose, and you may not need a blanket at all underneath, just lay on your mat. Oh yeah, this is much better. And then cover up, of course. You want to cover up and get nice and warm. Come over here and get your neck adjusted so that it is, oh, that's perfect there. Eye mask. I don't know where I put my eye mask. There it is. And then the only other benefit that this pose has as opposed to the other ones is that it will help with any fluid that you may be retaining in your legs or feet. So it helps to bring the fluid back up the legs and out of the feet. And sometimes that is a great relief. And of course, it's good for stress, anxiety, and the low back. There's a little back stretch here. I think that's all that I had. I write it down because I do so many poses. And so many benefits are very similar. I don't want to forget anything very important. Oh, it helps to reduce muscular fatigue in the legs also if you have that. Along with the other things that we've been talking about. Chest opener, heart opener, deep relaxation. And this pose is also a great one to do if you fly a lot and you have jet lag. So I hope you're nice and comfy, and I will see you back in 10 minutes for our namaste. Remember to relax your jaw if you've got it clenched, and just let your whole body start melting down into the floor, your legs into the chair, just like you're a puddle of melting butter, and you will truly feel all that there is to enjoy in this half legs up the wall restorative pose. And if you want to engage in some belly breathing, I'm going to guide you through about 3 breaths of it, and then just let you go on your own. Everything is through and out the nose, and you will breathe in so that you feel your abs rise, but your chest will not move. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you can continue with a few more belly breaths, or just go into an even, relaxed breathing state.
This ends our last restorative pose. And to come out of half legs up the wall pose or the chair pose, you'll want to remove your mask. And we're going to take a nice deep inhalation, bringing our arms overhead. So inhale up. Getting a nice stretch. Take your right hand and grab the left hand and pull it to the right. Exhale to center. Inhale, grabbing the left hand over the right hand and pulling it to the left as you exhale. And just do this movement 2 more times on each side. Getting a nice side stretch. Getting yourself acclimated to waking up. Maybe do a little shoulder roll, just up and down. And a neck roll, side to side. And then when you feel ready, if you are covered up, uncover your legs, roll over onto your side, and take just a moment here with a couple of breaths. And on your next exhale, take your top arm and push yourself up nice and slow, head coming up last. I hope you enjoyed the restorative rest yoga session and thought about the word expectancy as your affirmation. And you can use that word throughout the rest of the day or the evening or for the week. I'm thinking about it all week. And during this session, this is my, I don't know, 4th time, I think, to practice or teach. I have a cyst removed here and over here. There's nothing really seriously wrong. I'll be taking this off in a few weeks, or maybe another week or 2. But during this time, when I was in my child's pose, restorative child's pose, I really felt all my digestion moving around. I had a pretty high fiber breakfast, so I'm thinking maybe that's what was going on today. But it felt like, oh, some gurgling, some movement, getting rid of a bunch of stuff that I need to.
It actually started in the supported bridge pose, and then it continued into my restorative child's pose. So I've read to you the affirmation. I'll just reiterate on that one more time of expectancy. Your attitude toward the present builds your experience of the future. I hope that during your restorative rest pose you thought about that, and that your attitude was you were getting relaxed and relieving stress and feeling how the different muscles work together. And hopefully that will build your experience of your yoga practice as you continue on your quest for learning. And hold a positive attitude and outlook. Stay miracle minded and open to surprises. I was surprised. That's why I mentioned what my surprise was here on the new thing that I noticed during this session this time. There's been something different each time I've done it. So this was kind of cool. And then I have a little quote. I always like to have a quote. And it says, life is a series of thousands of tiny miracles. Be sure to notice them. So thank you so much for coming and sharing a yoga session with me today or tonight or whenever you're doing yours. You can do, that's what's great about being on YouTube or the Facebook. You can watch it anytime. On YouTube, you can watch it off of your TV, which I think is great because then you can see the big picture instead of a little tiny screen. So let's rub our hands together, bringing warmth, joy, love, and our affirmation word of the day, expectancy, into our heart center and bowing our heads. Namaste. I honor the light in you and ask that you honor the light in others. Namaste. And ta-ta for now. Oh, got to draw the word for the next class, which is gratitude. Nice. I'll do this. So gratitude is the next class I will focus on. And like I said, it's going to be a weight class. So have your weights ready. I recommend 2 to 5 pounds, no more than 5, even if you feel very strong, because we don't want to overbalance in our yoga poses. Ta-ta for now. See you next week.